good to have you back in the studio today.
Back at OBTV, man.
That's right.
This is a big deal.
It has been a while. I mean, you've been out doing big things everywhere else, and
We're doing some big stuff in Olive Branch now too, and all over DeSoto County. We've got a lot of things, and we're going to talk about you and talk about what you're doing. I'm not sure who the host is. It might be you. It might be me. It might be co-host.
we'll fight for that role, I guess, today.
Okay,
You know?
we're not going to fight. You're bigger than me.
No, we're not going to fight.
And you built this big building, Olive Branch City Hall, with taxpayer money.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you say
I know your
that.
disclaimer at the
I tell
bottom of
people
it.
I was just here when it all happened.
Yeah, this is great though. You know, it's a part of the city that wasn't here before, and
Yeah.
and you connect it to Old Town, so
Right.
it's carrying out the history of it. And
Well, we were committed to keeping City Hall in Old Town
yeah.
when we built it here, to keep the focus here in Old Town. Yeah.
I tell y'all that Sam Reichert is really funny, and I don't think you realize it. And he texted me at the crack of dawn this morning. I think it was still dark. He said, "What are we going to talk about?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. You're funny. Let's just see where we go." One thing we're going to cover is the City of Olive Branch events that are coming up. We have a lot of those, and Sam has a little cue card up here, so it's right. It's going to look like he's looking, but just to let you know it's down below. I see our tie tree over there.
Yeah, we have a tie collection over there, and I just started putting those back on now that it's cooled off. You know,
Yeah.
I did have one critic over the summer when I was being much less formal.
You only have one critic? That's pretty good.
I only have one critic, yeah. But anyway, this person that is a longtime viewer
amazing.
said, "You need to change your shirt and the way you dress. It just doesn't look good." You know, and I said,
What do they do on their
thank
weather
you,
show?
Thank you. You know.
When they do the weather on green screen with all this technology,
Yeah.
you should ask them about wardrobe. That's awesome. Yeah, but we got we started with a mic stand, I think, like a year or two ago, and we had it, and then we changed out ties, so we share ties. It's all. That's really all guys have. You know, a suit. I've worn this black suit a million times. And you can change out your shirt with the ties.
Well, there's one meteorologist several years ago was making a point. The female meteorologists get criticized daily
really
about
do.
their dress
Totally do.
and their hair, and you wore that dress last week or whatever.
Yeah.
So this one meteorologist, for 365 days, wore the same coat and the same tie every day, and nobody ever
Nobody
criticized him. So there's a big disparity between the criticism of a male on the air and a female.
Joey
and shouldn't be
Solopac
that way.
wore his bow ties, and it was his
Yeah.
trademark.
Yeah.
And then people were kind of like, just wear a regular tie. He started wearing a regular tie, and then we missed the bow tie. So I know at Tom Dee's services the other day or last year, whenever it was, Joey wore his bow tie. So, man, I'm so glad to see it. He said, because Tom always liked it.
Yeah.
So we've got to get our signature. And, of course, he was the mayor for 16 years, and that's a really big deal. So you can wear what you want to wear. Usually it's OBTV, and you do Olive Branch football still.
Right. We do that every Friday night. That
You stream it
football
live?
Played. We stream it live. Yeah.
Let's
Sure
talk
do.
about. I'm going to host a little bit. We're going to talk about where you can watch OBTV, because you actually have your own network on Comcast and streaming Apple TV, Roku,
Amazon.
Amazon Fire Stick. So
Right.
there's so many ways to see it, because we're going to invite people to come on the show and be a guest and talk about what you're doing around the community. I want to give a plug to Dodge's Chicken. Is it chicken gas station? Whatever.
Dodgers has a lot of things there. Yeah. They
Even Gardner with
gas
Cadence
is probably a
Bank.
minor part of it. Chicken's a big deal.
Chicken is a big deal, and everybody's talked about it forever. And I went to the chamber luncheon, breakfast, whatever it was last week with my friend Scott from the Design Shop, and I'm like, that smells really good. And Stephen Gardner was the one that chose the food, and if you know food and you know Stephen, they go together. So he introduced me to chicken biscuits.
Well, you know, years ago, the big thing at Dodge's was the Papa Burgers and the Mama Burgers.
Never heard of it.
They served hamburgers there that were excellent, and I guess they simplified their menu over the years and went mainly to chicken, and I think they may sell pizza there too, on demand. But every once in a while on social media you see somebody say, "Bring back the Mama Burgers."
Okay,
You know.
the Mama Burger.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try it. I didn't know it was so good, so I told Jill. She said, "Did you eat?" I'm like, I ate peanut butter crackers at 5:30 and drank my little power juice and a couple cups of coffee, and now I'm headed to Olive Branch. But I said I'm going to stop by Dodge's and bring Sam one. So I was smart enough to get
thank
her
you.
late,
Yeah.
so I didn't get to eat my chicken biscuit, but I do get to smell it, and it's
You
wonderful.
might eat it on air, you know.
No, I'm not a good eater talker. I'm not really good at that.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about some events that are coming up.
Well, coming up early this month on November the 4th, which is just around the corner from when we're making this video, the Olive Branch Police Department's having a career expo at their location from 8 a.m. until noon. So if you're interested in a career in law enforcement, that's a great place to go and a great place to talk to the officers and find out what the job's like.
Chief Cox is doing a really good job after
Right.
Gamage. I was over on Get Well the other day, and I was getting ice cream, and I saw somebody just kind of talking to me, or not talking to me, but standing behind me. I'm like, what is this? It was Don Gamage. And he came
Sure,
over.
it wasn't Ron Gamage.
No, it was not
He's
his
got a
brother.
twin, you
His
know.
brother does not smile, and Don Gamage smiles, but Chief Cox is doing a wonderful job, and they hand it off. And
Oh, certainly is.
all the police forces are really struggling right now because if somebody is ready to get into law enforcement, what are they going to look at? The first time is money, and they look at budgets, and the budgets allow for the money. So Olive Branch
Sure.
is, you knew that as a mayor, that it's all about the budgets. It's all they have. So
Right.
if you definitely want to do it, and we thank the world of the Olive Branch Police Department. I used to cook for them whenever I had my store, and we would cook for them, and they're just really, really good. So
I used to find TJ at the back door of Fox 13 every now and then cooking up there. You know, when I was hungry, I'd go up there and see if he was there cooking.
we did do some cooking. I have 2 grills and a turkey fryer still at Fox 13. So Valerie and Ernie, if you're watching it, we need to go back up and get it. So anyway, that's October 4th. That's going to be Olive Branch Police Department Career Expo. And where do
Yeah.
they find the links? You can go
November 4th.
November 4th?
Yeah, November the 4th. not
'Cause it's
October,
October
but-
right now.
Yeah, no, it's October.
It's
yesterday.
November now.
Yesterday was October.
Was that not a really quick thing?
That's
September,
behind me.
October?
I don't look at October anymore. That's behind me.
Goodness gracious.
You know, yeah, it's.
Every day gets so full.
I think you could just go to the Olive Branch website, obms.us, and then click on the police category and find out more about that. The next thing that's happening on November the 9th, the mayor is sponsoring a Veterans Day luncheon at the Olive Branch Senior Center. So your deadline to RSVP is November the 2nd. So by the time you're watching this video, you may have missed it. But you can call 662-892-9200. And that's an outstanding project that the mayor is commissioned, I guess, basically,
outstanding mayor.
to honor the veterans of our community.
That's really, really, really nice. And that's at the Senior Center?
Senior Center, yeah.
And I think the world of the Senior Center, Norma, they just had an event a couple of weeks ago because my mom and dad, KatesBarbecue.com, kind of throw a plug.
Yeah.
They have their new steak seasoning and dry rub,
Right.
and I have some in the back of the truck. If anybody ever sees me, I'm selling off the back of my truck.
You sell it out of the trunk of, kind of like John Grisham.
No, out of the back of
John
the
Grisham
truck.
sold his first books out of the trunk of his car.
Maybe that's what this
You
is
may
like.
reach the same height.
We're trying to reach. I met with Heath Rowell about 6 months ago, and DeSoto Times just did a really nice cover story on Mom
They
and
did.
Dad.
They did.
What they're doing because we had a store in Olive Branch, and that's where we met. So anyway, the Senior Center is amazing. So I would say if anybody wants to come by and check out what they have exercise classes.
And to go there, 50 is what they
Really?
call a senior.
Dude, I
yeah.
passed 50.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
good shape.
Yeah,
but
so
but
almost
I
half
never
the
see you
population
there.
can go if they want to. You know,
Sam's
at the senior
too
center.
active, man. He's the camper. Okay, let's keep going.
The 18th of November, Coats for Kids giveaway from 10 a.m. till noon right here at Olive Branch City Hall. So you might want to take advantage of that. That's November the 18th. Coach for Kids here at Olive Branch City Hall. And then let's talk about
Well, I want to do the
you wanna
coach
talk
for
about the
kids
coach?
because it's going to be cold when we give it away. We did a
Could
lot
be.
of the coach giveaway before, but I see people that show up for Coach for Kids and they bring their kid without a coat. It's okay if they have an old coat. We're
Yeah.
just trying to give you a new coat, so please be sure. I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but it's something I've seen. That you can go and put an old coat on your child. You don't have to trade it in. It's not like Blockbuster. We have to drop it off. You can let your kids wear a coat. Man, that's such a big deal.
So you
'cause
don't have to show the need. You just have to say you have a need, right?
I would like for
Yeah.
people to know that
Yeah.
they know that you can go up there and get a new coat for your kids. That's great.
Of course,
that
in
you're doing that.
November on the 18th, it may be 40 degrees. It might be 80
You're the
degrees.
weather mayor.
You never know.
What's the
you
weather
know.
going to be?
How do I know? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how you know, but you know every morning. Watch on OBTV
Yeah.
and Weather Mayor and meteorologist Sam Reichert, and you can
Right.
watch the weather.
Yep.
And if there's ever a storm, God forbid, but November's traditionally tornado time.
That's our
You're up
beginning
here.
of our second severe weather season is November into December.
He tracks
October's
the
usually fairly
storms
calm, but
and lets us know about it.
yeah.
I mean, to talk over
he
you.
tracks storm. Yeah,
You
right.
do,
Yeah.
but you let us know specifically Olive Branch and all the county. We
Right.
Jill from California had never been through a tornado. We saw tornadoes were coming. she said we're going out of town. We end up going to Biloxi like that.
I
We're in
remember
Biloxi.
that, yeah.
But he was so
Yeah.
nice giving. He was still giving the weather
Yeah,
updates.
she wanted to drive 300 miles away from them, right? Good idea.
It
Of
was
course,
a
she
nice-
drove right through the hot spot for tornadoes in
It's
the
okay.
country now.
Next
It's
time I'll get you to
Central
talk to her.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
that way.
Okay.
Beginning on November the 22nd, it's the second annual Light Garden Show in City Park. What about that?
What about that? Tell
I
me
don't
more
know.
about it.
It's a big deal. It's
Is
a big
it?
deal. It goes on from the 22nd of November all the way through January 1st. And I believe the New Year's Eve, they have big things planned for that. Fireworks
And
shows.
that's at the Olive Branch City
entertainments.
Park.
That's at the Olive
What a
Branch
great
City
park.
Park. And there's lots of different events
So you have
that
the
go
park
on.
open, even though you're doing
Yeah.
the lights.
It's open during the day, and at nighttime, you can come into the park, of course, in the parking areas, and then there's a certain point there where you have to have a ticket to get in to walk through the light show. But I bet you could sit in the parking lot and see a lot of it, if it's cold, But hopefully, better weather for the light show this year. Last year, it seemed like it rained on over half the nights.
Again, the weatherman.
There. So I put in a request for dry weather for the Light Garden Show.
Okay,
this year.
good. I appreciate that, and I
Yeah.
think everybody else appreciates
I don't know if it'll be
it.
honored,
It
but I
will be.
put a request
It's a
in
big
for
deal.
it.
16 years past
Yeah.
mayor.
The organizers for it will probably feel a sigh of relief that I've asked for that.
It's a great park. We came to look at. We enjoy fireworks, so we go city to city, and our friend Doug Cook will be back tomorrow. He's gonna be at lunch with us if you come to lunch with us Friday. I got to tell you about that. Where we're
Okay.
going, we have a whole group of people going. But Doug, who's coming back from California, he plays Jerry Lee. He lives in Olive Branch, and he was your performer this year. So we came to hear it.
Yeah.
The fireworks are great.
The one change with the Light Garden Show this year is that they will sell season passes. Or you buy one ticket and you can come as many times as you want to. Last year you had to have a ticket individually for the nights, but this year they're selling season passes.
I love it. So you don't have to go to Shelby Farms in Memphis and Shelby County anymore.
I don't
You
know
come
why
right-
you would go to Shelby Farms
I don't know.
or Memphis when the best show is here.
We have a lot of things going
Yeah.
on. Okay, what else we got?
November the 30th.
Could you make the cue card any smaller print? If it was
Well, see,
like two more
I
fonts
have
higher, I would be
pretty
fine.
good vision. I could probably read it without the glasses, but I wear the glasses because they make me look distinguished and educated. But
I've always thought
it
that.
takes
It's
something.
funny you would say it
it
out
always
loud.
takes that, But on November the 30th, the City of Olive Branch community tree lighting, live music, Christmas market, Santa, and much, much more. That's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Wesson House lawn.
nice.
It's a big deal. Lots of
It's a
people
nice
show
event.
up, and it's just a great event to kind of kick off the holiday season here in Olive Branch. You need to come out for that. And then that's on a Thursday night. The Saturday night following is the Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade that begins at 2 p.m. and runs through Old
Now,
Town.
let's talk about the Christmas parade
Okay.
because it's
Talk
amazing.
about it.
We come to
It's been
it
going on
every
forever.
year. What's so sweet is we come and we stand again with Tom Dees. We would always be in the same spot across from Pink's, and it's so sweet. We always get in the Old Town part of it, and they will stop and call my name, or they'll call in
Yeah.
Lisa and Pat Hamilton, our alderwoman. She said, "Stop the car," and she said, "Come here, look," and then she gave her. It's just such a personal parade. It's so nice that it. I was in the parade when I was a Summersville Fire Department like 12 or 14 years ago and tried to organize everything. But it's a really, excuse me, it's a really sweet parade.
Well, if you want,
But you get up on stage and you get the Britney Spears headset up and you're up there commentating live, so you can watch it live
yeah,
with OBTV.
I commentated one year, but typically I'm operating the camera and
We should do it as a team
video
this
in
year.
it and streaming it live. So if it's too cold for you, whatever, you can probably watch it on the internet. But the best thing is to come, and the best place is right around City Hall and Old Town because that's where all the people gather, and it just feels much more festive because you're listening to the Christmas music playing over the speakers as the parade moves through. You can watch it just about anywhere on the route.
It's like watching fireworks
but
on
you
TV.
miss
It's not
that
the same.
ambiance.
Yeah.
The Old Town and the Christmas music. So
You
I would
and your
encourage
big
you
words,
to go
man.
there.
You're so brave to
I
use
don't
a
know
big
what
word.
I don't know what they mean, but I use them from time to time.
I'm assuming it fit the story that we're going with.
I was in a meeting one time and somebody used this term talking about me and
They say tall.
No, they didn't say
Powerful,
that, but I looked at
good-looking,
them. I said, "Now I'm gonna
distinguished?
have to go get the dictionary and look that up and just see what you said." Just then, but yeah, the Christmas lighting on Thursday night, the 30th, and the parade on December the 2nd.
A lot of stuff going
coming up is a big deal here in Olive Branch, and of course, we kind of end the activities in Old Town and Olive Branch with Wreaths Across America on December the 16th, and that's
It's a
more of a
wonderful event.
solemn
Yeah.
event held at the Blocker Cemetery at noon. You can buy a wreath for your veteran loved one, available for purchase at www.wreathsacrossamerica.org/MSBLOC. And
So good
you
at
should
this.
come up to the Blocker Cemetery on that day or even afterwards, and you see the hundreds of veterans' graves there,
Yeah.
decorated with wreaths there. And there's always a military special speaker that attends that, and it's just a very moving type of ceremony.
And you do some things at Blocker Ceremony or Blocker Cemetery, and you actually get in character, and you give
I'm in
tours.
character all the time.
You're a character, but sometimes you get in character, and I've seen
Yeah.
you with your
Yeah, we do
your hat
that
and
during
stuff.
the springtime with the kindergarten, first graders, and third graders, I believe, from Olive Branch Elementary and Chickasaw Elementary, as they walk from the cemetery into Old Town, and they learn about history of Olive Branch. there.
Cowpen,
And,
Mississippi.
well, we mentioned Cowpen and Watson's Crossroads and all, but I play the role of Milton Blocker.
Yeah.
When I'm at the cemetery, and the cemetery is named after the Blocker family. We have a Blocker Street, and Milton Blocker and Stephen Flynn were two of the first European settlers in this area when the Treaty of Pontotoc was signed by the Chickasaw Indians and the U.S. government. And basically, it meant that they had to sell their land and move, which I think was a sad thing.
Yeah,
and
very
all,
sad.
but. That was when Milton Blocker and Stephen Flynn came, and I tell their story. And then they move on down into other parts of Olive Branch, and they hear other people tell
It's
the
important to
story
let people know
of
the
history.
history of
Yeah, they get to go to the Wesson House, and they hear
Wesson House is
hear
great.
someone playing
I like
the
it when
role
they do the
of,
table settings.
of
in
Ben
there.
Wesson, who was the first mayor of Olive Branch. He built that house after he was mayor, when he was the postmaster here in Olive Branch. And then we talk about how his life ended because of a dispute over chickens in his yard. So if you need to know more about that, just call TJ. He'll tell you all
I'll
about
give you
it.
Sam's number, and you can call and ask Sam. That's how we work. We work through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about where people can watch these shows that you got through OBTV again, and let's tell people, because we got moved up the dial with Comcast.
Yeah, we were Comcast Channel 19 here in Olive Branch for decades, and for technical reasons, is what they explained to me. I think they just wanted to move us, but technical reasons, they moved us to 1078 or 1078.
On Comcast.
Which I thought was interesting because the major highway through town is Highway 78.
You're always on
know,
the
And
happy
I
side of
and
life.
I use
man.
the slogan when I promo it.
I never
Where
thought
the
of that.
best of Mississippi begins, 78.
How the grandmas doing?
Grandmas have not produced anything fairly new
We
in
need
a
to get 'em in
while,
here.
but Marla has told me that they plan to get back busy and produce some things, and I've just told her if they produce something in my studio, they have to bring the actual product for us to sample.
If you ever want to meet two ladies that are closer to Mayberry and the cooking that they do, we did cooking
Yeah.
shows for them a year or so ago, and I still hadn't gotten over it. They made cakes, they made pies,
Yeah.
they did all these little shows. Yeah, we should bring them back and do a little cooking
Yeah.
thing and talk to them about holiday
Yeah.
cooking.
Let's back up to the Comcast thing. Comcast 1078.
We're
where
not
you
gonna
can
talk
find
about
us.
food,
We didn't
'cause
talk
I'm
about
smelling these Dodgers
Yeah, but we didn't
chicken
talk about the
and
other
biscuit.
ways that you can watch OBTV live.
Let's
you can
talk
watch
about
it
that.
on your internet, on any smart TV or any computer at obtvlive.com/channel1 or /channel2, depending on what you want to watch. Regular programming is on channel 1 and primarily weather programming on channel 2. You can watch it on Facebook at the Facebook page, obtvlive.com.
Get a lot of activity on your Facebook page.
And I do all my weather on meteorologist Sam Reichard. And I even have a secret, obtvlive.com channel 3 that I can broadcast on. I use that when I don't want to interrupt the programming here, and I can simulcast to whatever social media I want to without interrupting the important programming we have
You know
going
so
on
much
here.
stuff.
You know,
You know a lot of stuff.
I don't know much.
You do. Look at this.
I
If
know-
y'all can look around this studio and look at it 2 or 3 years ago and look at it now, because you used to be upstairs and
Yeah.
some of the green screens we did. And I was talking to a guy that does some video. I think you shared his videos this week. I did an interview with him, and he's doing some stuff down in around Hernando and around the Capitol. Is it the Capitol? County Capitol?
County seat.
County seat. I knew
Yeah,
that you're
it's
government.
county
You'd know.
seat. You know, yeah.
But his studio, and he came to my studio, which we have in Hernando, and I'm like, but you want to see a studio in DeSoto County?
Yeah.
You got to see Sam Reichert. This is
Studios
awesome.
look really impressive from the end product side, but when you look at it from when you're in here, it looks kind of in disarray and junky and whatever. But
think
you
it
can
looks
really
great.
make it look good.
Because
with
you
the
learn
computer.
something, you tell me, I learned something, and we go
Yeah.
back and forth. Like you told me when I was in Nashville to go get chroma key or at the paint store, and we did.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
well, wow, that's so much better. But I'm back to the Amazon curtain because sometimes I use the wall, sometimes I don't.
Well, software today is very forgiving.
yeah,
uh,
it's getting better, isn't it?
Years ago, I mean, you had to have a perfect, smooth
Seamless,
background with the
well
light
lit.
just perfect and all. And now software is advanced to the point that you can have a green fabric hanging there with little ripples in it. as
Yeah,
long
I've
as you
got
don't
some
have-
ripples in
As
mine.
long as you don't have shadows on it, And
I have a question about the light that's over our head.
Yeah.
You only have one bulb burning, you have 2 out. Why is that?
But
Is that on purpose?
it's a personal
Just
question.
the back-
It's a
no, it's
personal
just to
question
light the-
because it makes my head shine if
Okay.
it's too much light. That's
Okay.
what it is.
I didn't know if there
yeah,
was a
that's what it
reason.
is.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to do that, but
might,
but
man.
with
You
me,
never know.
I
I
don't
didn't know
even
why
know.
you
If,
did
I
that.
don't know
I
if
thought
it's
it
a
was just to
shine or
backlight
maybe
the
it's kind of
green.
like a halo glow
We'll
or
talk
something
about
like that.
off camera. If you want to be a guest on OBTV, then reach out to Sam, let him know, and let us know. We want to get some more content for the show, because one of the toughest things to have 2 TV
Mm-hmm.
channels is content.
Yeah, I'm looking at software right now that TV stations use that it's fairly simple to plug in programs in certain time slots, and the software will fill in if it had like 6 minutes to go before the end of the
Oh, that's cool.
of the show, in 30-minute segments and all. And hey, the big thing is I just need someone to pay for it. So
Oh, you
TJ,
need a
you
sponsor?
have multiple
I
companies,
can ask
right?
people to pay
You have
for
multiple
it.
companies.
I do actually have
Yeah,
multiple
I know
companies,
you
and
do.
one of
Yeah,
them is
yeah.
growing really fast.
You could sponsor one of them.
I would be
Yeah.
happy to sponsor you.
Yes, thank you. See, hey, folks, it's a deal. It's a deal.
Well, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for hosting this or co-hosting
Yeah.
or whatever we're doing. We just want to get some content back on the channel and give y'all some news and some alternatives that's maybe you're not catching coming out of Memphis. We want to cover what's going on in the great city of Olive Branch
Yep.
in this great building that
I
you
agree
built
with
with taxpayer
everything you
money.
said.
All right. This is TJ Cates.
And I'm Sam Reichert. Thanks for watching.